The planet Viridian 4 was not kind to wanderers. Its skies burned with orange storms, and its forests whispered with life forms no human had catalogued. For decades, it had been a place of exile, a place where humans went to disappear. For Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Cade, it was both a sanctuary and a prison. Daniel had once been a decorated veteran in the Earth's interstellar cause. He had fought in the Andromeda campaigns, seen planets crumble under alien bombardment, and had lost more comrades than he could count. But the last battle, the ambush at Zithra 9, had left him scarred in ways medals could never heal. By choice, he had left humanity behind, retreating to a remote lagoon on Viridian 4 with only his dog, Max, a loyal Terran shepherd with a surprisingly keen intellect. Years passed in monotony. Daniel hunted, fished, and maintained a modest shelter, building walls against both the planet's wilds and the memories he could not escape. He spoke to no one, save for Max, whose presence was a balm to the veteran's solitude. The world of men was gone to him, and in return, he was content to remain invisible to it. One evening, as twin suns dipped beneath the horizon, painting the lagoon in gold and violet, Max's barks broke the familiar silence. Daniel had learned to recognize the urgency in those barks. "What is it, boy?" he called, grabbing his rifle, though deep down he suspected no predator threatened them. Max darted ahead, moving with a precision Daniel had rarely seen in any creature. The dog disappeared behind a cluster of reeds, only to re-emerge, dragging something small and fragile through the water. Daniel's heart thumped. At first, he thought it might be some alien creature native to Viridian 4, perhaps injured by the planet's harsh environment. But when he waded into the shallow lagoon and pulled the dripping, quivering form out, he realized it was no ordinary creature at all. She was humanoid, but nothing human. Her skin shimmered like the surface of a pearl, faintly translucent, revealing an intricate network of veins that glowed softly. Her hair floated around her head in the water, silver and liquid-like. Her eyes, half closed, were a startling shade of sapphire that seemed to contain entire galaxies within them, and she was dying. "Max, get back," Daniel said softly, lifting her into his arms. The girl shivered, making a gurgling sound that was almost like a laugh. Daniel's military training kicked in. He laid her on a blanket he had spread near the edge of the lagoon, tearing strips from his shirt to stanch the shallow cuts that decorated her body. Her respirations were weak, uneven. Whatever had hurt her had been swift and merciless. "Can you hear me?" Daniel whispered. "You're safe now. I won't let anything happen to you." Her eyes fluttered open, fixing on his face. There was fear there, but also curiosity and, faintly, recognition, as if she understood the danger she had narrowly escaped. Her language was unlike anything Daniel had encountered, musical, complex, interwoven with subtle clicks and vibrations. Yet Max's calm demeanor encouraged her, and soon she was able to mimic his tones, creating words he could just barely understand. "Thal-N," she whispered. "Your name is Thalan." Daniel guessed. She nodded weakly. Her species, he realized slowly, was far more advanced biologically than humans, capable of surviving extreme environments that would kill even the hardiest of Terrans. She must have been stranded or attacked by something or someone. Over the next several days, Daniel's life transformed. He tended to Thalan, feeding her carefully prepared rations, warming her with blankets, and keeping her safe from the lagoon's many dangers. Max never left her side. The bond between human, dog, and alien grew quickly. As Thalan began to recover in the safety of Daniel's hidden refuge, communication improved slowly. Thalan's people were explorers, travelers of the stars, who had come to Viridian for seeking a resource that humans and aliens alike had overlooked. A crystal capable of amplifying thought into energy. But she had been ambushed by raiders of a merciless species called the Cliff, who wanted the crystal for themselves. She had escaped, barely, but had collapsed into the lagoon before she could reach safety. Daniel listened in disbelief, absorbing her story like a man in a dream. He had spent years hiding from humanity, yet here was a chance to protect life, to be needed again, to be part of something greater than himself. Thalan's recovery was slow, but every day brought small victories. A smile, a laugh, a hand reaching for his. Daniel felt a warmth he hadn't known since before Zithranine, a reminder that even in a universe so cold and indifferent, connections mattered, but danger was never far. The Cliff were tracking her, and Daniel knew it. Using the skills honed in countless battles, he fortified the lagoon, creating traps and alarms, studying the terrain like a general preparing for a siege. Yet every night, as he slept lightly, Max by his side, he felt the tension of inevitability. The Cliff would not stop until Thalan was captured. Weeks later, the attack came. Shadows moved through the forest, silent but deadly. Daniel's traps slowed them, but a dozen Cliff warriors approached the lagoon, their eyes glowing red in the dark. "Stay behind me," Daniel whispered to Thalan, positioning her behind a makeshift barricade. Max growled low in his throat, ready to defend. The battle was brutal. Daniel fought with everything he had, muscles screaming, adrenaline surging. Yet the Cliff were formidable, quick and relentless. Just when it seemed the attackers would overwhelm him, Thalan rose from her hiding place, her body glowing with energy he had never seen before. The crystal within her, the very thing the Cliff had sought, reacted to her fear and anger, sending waves of energy that threw the raiders back, disarming and incapacitating them. Daniel stared in awe. The girl he had saved was not just a survivor. She was something extraordinary. Together, human and alien, they defended their small sanctuary, proving that courage and compassion could bend even the harshest odds. After the attack, Thalan approached Daniel, her hand on his cheek, her eyes gleaming with gratitude and something deeper. "You saved me," she said softly. "No," Daniel replied, shaking his head, tears welling. "We saved each other." From that day on, the lagoon was no longer a place of solitude but a sanctuary of hope. Daniel, once a man who had lived only with memory and regret, discovered new purpose. Max thrived, bounding between the human and the alien girl who had become family. And in the quiet nights, as the twin suns of Viridian 4 set in the sky, Daniel would look at Thalan and realize that the universe, vast and unforgiving as it was, could still be tamed by the simple acts of compassion and bravery. He had thought he was alone, but the universe had other plans. The human veteran who had retreated from the galaxy found that life strange, alien, and miraculous was worth fighting for again, and with Thalan at his side, he knew that, even in the endless expanse of stars, humanity had a place not just as warriors, but as protectors, as friends, as something extraordinary. Asterisk.